Rich man's war. Industrial streets. Class lines, money talks. Turning language to paper pieces. Rich man's war. Free man's society. Raging, violent, insecure. Nuclear man, nuclear woman. Unclear how to act. Rich man's war. Persians cruising Europe. America, Russia, governmental nuclear views, industrial allies cutting the world as though they cannot see blood flow. Rich man's war, Central America bleeding, wounds sinking Palestine and Harlem, 3 Mile Island in El Salvador, Pine Ridge in Belfast. Rich man's war, the poor, starving for food, starving for land, starving for peace, starving for reason. Rich man's war, attacking humans, attacking beings, attacking Earth, attacking tomorrow. Rich man's war, thinking of always war, thinking of always war, with machines for ancestors. New unborn generation. Chemical umbilical cords are only white. In your electrical progress, human lives burn offerings to the god of greed. With lives for ancestors. There is no truth in some futures. Rulers of minds feeding next generation souls to the control machine. Sacrifice ritual for the profit technology. With isolation for ancestors. There is only the present, bought by the credit material users, forging chains, binding you to destruction, compliments of your deities, the industrial prince. More than neon flash, trying hiding a neon mask. Have to face who we really are. At some point we have no choice. Distant star, distant light. In real world we are human beings. In shadow real world we are being human. Neon masks for neon flash. Distant thunder, distant cloud. Passions ring. Dreads of possession. What we do is hard to take. What we take is hard to do. Some others are crazy. Or maybe we take turns. Dreaming about some kind of life. We say it could have been different. But it wasn't. Because we weren't. No matter what it turns out to say. A lot of things we said weren't true. Industrial stories in an electric instant. Neon masks. Neon flash. Neon flash. Thing is, nihilistic desires. Civilized, gone insane. Didn't imagine it turning like this. Some things start good and go bad. Some things get bad and stay. Are we caught between living a lie or not living at all? Eliminated choices, lost in dreams we let go. Memories we never got to have. Something else to think about. Waking up in industrial society. Surrounded by angry days. Going through motions of not being. Wanting the best but not expecting it. survivors pay for in dreams. Feeling like a world alone. Serving God with the devil to pay. Feeling like something in no place. But goes on in hell anyway. The thing is, it has to do with heart. We must understand what hearts are for before we can get back to heaven, or paradise, or the power in our mind.
I say to them, how can you buy all this garbage? They say, please, just leave us alone. I say, but you don't need any of this crap. You know ecology begins at home. They say, okay already. I guess you're probably right, but I still want it, and so I'm going to get it, and stop your goddamn preaching, Dwight. I say, that's why it's all breaking down, because no one makes any personal sacrifice. She says, I'll buy whatever I want. The only issue is, can I pay the price? He says, and that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And personally, Dwight, I do believe you've gone completely nuts. Moi? Nuts? You're the third person who said that today. But I just got my diagnosis right in front of me, and it's really not all that bad. It says I'm agitated and perturbed, but then I'm not mad at all. I'm just very environmentally disturbed. Shop, shop. Shop, shop. Shop till you drop, 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 drop. Shop, 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 shop. Shop till you drop. Drop what you shop. Drop, shop, shop, drop, shop, 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 shop. Go mall shop. Get mall shop. Mall, 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 mall shop. Drop dead shop. Straight dead shop. Dead, 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 dead shop. Just drop dead drop. Straight dead drop. Drop dead, drop dead, drop dead, drop dead, drop dead drop. And when dead drop, no more shop. No more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more shop. And then go rot. Like mall rot. All rot, mall rot, all rot, mall rot, all rot, rot, rot. And then no shop. No shop. No shop, no shop, no shop, shop, shop.
Can you give it three? Dum, 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 dum.
great.
I want to sing with you a song. I'll teach it to you. It's a song that I kind of heard one time I was sitting in my little house, I guess you'd call it that. I kind of used to live in this little wiki-up thing. I don't know if you'd really call it a house, but anyway. And I had found out that Leonard Peltier was still in prison, and for some reason, a couple of years ago, I heard that he was going to get out, and that they had all this good evidence that he was going to get out and everything. And this song came through for him and for all the other political prisoners that are in the world, and all the native people who are being held in prison and who are being held in prison in their lives. And it's kind of a song for the people. And the words are, may your eyes they see. You can repeat them after me so you can learn them. May your eyes they see. May your spirit soar freely.
May your spirit soar freely.
May your people be strong.
May your people be strong.
And may the whole world sing your freedom song.
And may the whole world sing your freedom song.
Body's bound, and it's a hard road you have found. But as I sing into the sky, I hear a prayer as the wind blows by. This is where y'all come in. May your eyes they see. May your spirit soar freely. May your people be strong. May the whole world sing your freedom song. The earth, you love the sky, you fight for justice as the days go by. No justice comes from the hands of man, but the wind it sings its prayer again. Here we go. May your eyes they see. May your spirit soar freely. May your people be strong. May the whole world sing your freedom song. Prisoners, there are scores. There is you know there are many more. Some call you criminal, and other names call the sheep a wolf. It's a sheep just the same. your spirit soar freely. Make your people be strong. May the whole world sing your freedom song. May your eyes they see. May your spirit soar freely. May your people be strong. May the whole world sing your freedom song. Let's do it one more time so he can hear us and so the whole world can hear us. May your eyes they see. May your spirit soar freely. May your people be strong. May the whole world sing your freedom song. May the whole world sing your freedom song. May the whole world sing your freedom song.
Here's a song from our Alaska Road Show, written by a fellow in New York that goes out on the sloop Clearwater out there with Pete Seeger and the gang. And now, a lot of times, it's a lot of fun when you get out there in the back and these folks singing circles and they're doing all the old song, and someone says, "I know an environmental song," and they sing a whaling song, right? Well, happens. Anyway, well, this guy knew that experience a lot, and he rewrote the whaling song for us, updated a little bit here. See if I Call me the whale, for that's what I am, and what I aim to be. You may call yourselves the kings of the land, but I reign over the sea, brave boys, but I reign over the sea. Well, you came after me with your matchstick boats and your harpoons poised for the kill. When I looked you in the eye, I never saw you cry, but I know I gave you a chill, brave boys. I know I gave you a chill. And I never really meant you any harm, brave boys, when I sent you to the bottom with my tail. I was only trying to show you that you should have stayed at home instead of on the ocean chasing whales, brave boys, instead of on the ocean chasing whales. But you never learned your lesson, and more you came till I ran out of places to hide. When your boats got so big, I could not bring you down. I knew that you had turned the tide, brave boys. I knew that you had turned the tide. And now you hunt me down with your factory ships. You never even touch me with your hands. In the morning I am playing with my babies in the waves. The afternoons I'm packed into your cans, brave boys. The afternoons I'm packed into your cans. And you've gotten so efficient with your implements of death that now I'm barely alive. But if you treat each other the way you've treated me, I think I'm going to survive, brave boys. I think I'm going to survive. Call me the whale, for that's what I am, and what I aim to be. You may call yourselves the kings of the land, but I reign over the sea, brave boys. But I reign over the sea. Paul Kaplan song from New York City. Sloop Singers. Here's a song about one of my favorite creatures. I've always liked turtles. I've had a fondness and affection for turtles that goes way back to And I never realized how important turtles were in the scheme of things. My gosh, sea turtles, for instance. Native Americans thought so much of sea turtles they called this whole continent Turtle Island. Wow. I mean, we call it mythology, they called it religion. And actually, I kind of like the turtle idea. Remember, they came up with this turtle idea thousands of years before we came up with the flat earth. Now, many other cultures believed in turtles, still do, I guess. I prefer it, actually, a lot of all of the rumors going around. Especially those new ones. Same sea turtles that have done so much for so long, in the last 60 years are almost vanishing. All but one species of sea turtle is highly endangered. Well, they get in the way of shrimp nets, doggone it. And they should be able to digest plastic. They've done so well out there and coped so long. And then there's the question, well, what do turtles contribute? Indians believed a long time ago that the world was floating through space on the back of a turtle that kept it from sinking, kept it in a safer place. Turtles were special and thought to be wise from the ages that live in their eyes. From the back of their shell, they would keep us so well. In fact, they would keep us alive. We are the children of Turtle Island, a story that's old and that's new. On Turtle Island, there's a turtle smiling, carrying the world for you. Carrying the world for you. Turtles can migrate from ocean to ocean, travel thousands of miles in the sea, crawl from their shells, and 7 years later come back to the very same beach. Nobody knows how they remember their way. It's a scientific mystery. Charles Darwin and others became turtle lovers, 'cause turtles, they felt, held the key. And we are the children of Turtle Island, a story that's old and that's new. On Turtle Island, there's a turtle smile, and carrying the world for you. Carrying the world for you. Tortuga muy grande. Have outlived the dinosaur kings with millenniums stored in their genes. But like so many creatures on the brink of extinction, we're losing the turtles of the sea. And now the tables are turning, the story's returning, as mythology mixes with fact. That the fate of the turtle, the fate of the island, is now resting on our backs. And we are the children of Turtle Island, a story that's old and that's new. On Turtle Island, there's a turtle smile, but their world is depending on you. Like so many creatures on Turtle Island, the world is depending on you. Thank you, folks.
Myself and Michael Gump are the bears. We owe our allegiance only to the forest in the bear kingdom. We are pissed off at humanity. They've chopped down our homes, slaughtered our families, quarantined us in their national parks, vilified us in their cartoons, and then have the audacity to put us on the California state flag. Fuck the human pigs. We have come out of our hibernation to take the species war straight to their homes. We've come out of the hills to fuck shit up grizzly style. We descended on the small town of Lone Pine in the Owens Valley, where we went to the market and stocked up on booze and smokes. Where are you from, they asked. The forest. Well, I guess if you ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer, the woman figured out. They laughed like scared human meat and said there's no animals allowed in the store. I explained that we would be setting up our own bear markets where humans would not be allowed but would be sold by the pound. Let me point out that we do not wear burlap outfits with gutted teddy bear heads and pretend that we are bears. That is merely a lie propagated by the media to make you think that we are not a truly threatening revolutionary force that will overthrow the human race. We are bears. I was the boxing bear with boxing gloves. Michael was the photographer bear. He took pictures of me next to the nice lady in the laundromat and the woman in the grocery shop. These photos will be used for our propaganda. People warned us about bear hunters. We spoke to Michael's dad's friend who owned the computer business. He had a friend there who actually was a bear hunter and told us a horrific story about how a whole posse was rounded up to chase down a bear that had wandered into town, and when they shot it to death in the dark, they realized it was only a cub. I almost mauled him to death, but did not because the other man had let me use his bathroom and might have been upset. But make no mistake, we are militant. We went through a trash can and discussed rolling it into the middle of the street and growling and hurling trash at motorists until they called Sheriff Gooseberries. But we decided that was passé bear behavior. Yogi is a fraud. We took our war to downtown L.A., where Ethel Meatplow was playing a warehouse party. I, with boxing gloves, Gump Bear with stuffed teddy bear, attacked the singer. They are alternative, neo-tribal, sadomasochistic something or other, so they liked it and invited us on stage. But Gump Bear tried to steal the mic from Ethel to demand that they play more songs about bears, and she got upset. Afterwards, we searched in vain for a fish pond and talked to some of the drunken alternative children about bear rights, bear nationalism, bear supremacy, and our revolutionary terrorist organization, Bear Nation. We attacked the hippies at the Jerry Garcia show at UCLA like the good punk rock bears that we are. We brought our bunny friends from the forest and an old lady. These deadheads seem to have bought into this idea that bears are happy, dancing, huggable things. Do not hug the bears. The bears will shove a badger up your butt. This LSD-eyed hippie child is telling us the bears are supposed to be friendly and happy, and I'm explaining that she doesn't know a goddamn thing about bears, that Paddington can eat my ass, and that humans and bears happily coexisting is not going to happen in this lifetime whether Jerry Garcia becomes president or not. It's weird enough that we're hanging out with bunnies. So we're about to leave after a fun evening of harassing tree huggers, and 4 police gang up on us and shout at us to take our masks off because it's illegal to wear masks. Masks. I'm thinking, I'm a bear and he's a pig, and a bear can take out a pig easy. It's the night before the verdicts come down, and they're quite hostile. And I thank them for helping to stop crime, and they kick us out. Gump Bear and friend have been known to show up at Gefilte Fucks gigs and kick the band's collective Jew ass. Were we responsible for the World Trade Center bombing, you ask? Well, maybe. We do not discriminate. We dig our claws into milkmen, campers, park rangers, and environmentalists. It's all red meat to us. People often refer to us as those fucking bears. The bears will rise up, the human empire will collapse, and Winnie the Pooh and Smokey will be exposed as the sellout human lovers that they are.
living will soon be dead. You outweigh the supply, they say, in 1993. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Imagine what it'll be like to be in an urban place without electricity. People flopping around like rats in a flood, feeding all the other guys and worried about what they have and they have not. Trying to get a hold of what the other guys got. There ain't gonna be a hole behind in 1993. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. The hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Sorry, Mr. Newton, but things gotta change. Sorry, John, lock your theories on down the drain. Gonna have to come up with a new recipe. Make a new relationship with energy. Better act quick before it's driven insane. I've nothing much to lose and I'll beat you to get. It's a crazy world. We got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. I hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, I hope we got a word for the way that we die here. And it's your last chance to join in. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. I hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, it's a crazy world. I hope we got a word for the way that we do it. Koyaanisqatsi, I hope we got a word for the way that we die here.
I wouldn't want to be a pine tree living on a pine plantation with nothing but other pine trees in every single direction. No, I'd rather be a
Earth First is a radical environmentalist movement whose watchwords are no compromise in defense of Mother Nature. Earth First emphasizes direct action and civil disobedience against those who would threaten wilderness and environmental diversity. Recently, national leaders of Earth First came together at La Peña Cultural Center in Berkeley for a rainforest benefit featuring music, poetry, rabble-rousing, and Earth First culture.
from the Forest Service are overprotecting my trees from a beetle that eats the weaker pines that are overcrowding me. They say that bug is bugging their profits, so they come in the forest and they kill and they chop it. But that method never stops it anyway. The beetle doesn't affect the hardwoods. Many pines are even immune.
Let us take you for a moment from that frantic vision, that frantic video you would call reality, a contemporary hit co-authored by fear, noise and commotion pulled around you like false security. Let us take you for a moment from that which encircles you like covered wagons against the intense, uncertain potential of nightfall. Let us take you for a moment to the shadow-lined corridors between tamarack and aspen, down those thorny, berry-covered tunnels that lead to your naked, wild souls. Silence will stalk you there, coming closer even as you stop to listen. Another step or two, and it will touch you, and it will re-enchant you, reunite you to your oneness with this sacred living earth. There is no freedom without such danger. Shaggy hair hangs over your eyes here, as even your tracks are transformed. A little deeper now, with a hint of claws. It is the job of our poetry to take you there. Welcome to Earth First. We're doing the special benefit tonight for the rainforest, which all of you know is one of the most beautiful, primeval, magical, abundant examples of magical, fecundant wilderness that's left in the entire world. We can talk of it in terms of resources if we want, but the bottom line of the rainforest is that if we had no resource value whatsoever to us, no medicines, if we couldn't even go there and look at its beauty, it has a value. If it didn't produce oxygen for our air, it has a value in and of itself, a sacred value. La Tierra. This is about walking, about taking your shoes off and feeling barefoot the ground beneath your feet. Barefoot walk. Compelled to stop, push naked, probing toes into sun-warmed gravel. Lean forward as the grassy knoll softly gives like a rib cage to the weight of my present knees. Myriad winged insects dance at their species song below. Twirling a silken sweetgrass between my fingers, all realization of time seems to vanish down those invisible tunnels that bring the wind to our ears. It is a piece of her delicately braided hair, the Mother Earth's hair herself, that these fingertips rejoice on. And the connection made, I suddenly see all the places that I have never been, creatures both strange and familiar, the diverse, resplendent whole made visible once again to my pitiful humanoid eyes. La tierra es mi querida. The earth is my lover. In walking, it is easier to feel her. Walking as a prayer. Her cloak is the tapestry of life, from microbe to field mouse, honeybee to buffalo, creeping, crawling, leaping, flying, virtually bursting from its woven matrix. In awareness, brightly lit with a lizard luminescence, plucks my speech like flies from the air, dumps me on the fleshy cause of Mother Earth's interminable wetness. Walking, it is easier to hear her. As every wild fruit rolls out her pores, tides pounding in blood-red grapes, her moon pulling their fluids hard against their giving inner walls. It is the sound of waves crashing on rocks, where fruit meets stem, drumming their message of fullness down electrified vines, their message translated in her heart, along with timid emanations trickling down the roots of mountain flowers, the barrel cactus's slowest sucking of the centuries. La tierra es mi madre. The earth is my mother. In her center, rivers circle in, like coyote circles before resting in scented nest. The rivers are nose to tail here, smelling each other, like sheets of opal, what you might think are lakes, are the openings to the imaginations of our mountain-bred children. We must make just the right music to get in, rolling beach stones together in our palms, the anxious mating sounds of the endangered species, the flapping of butterfly wings on the horizon as the last condor flies to freedom in California, unshakable view of the sacred walking.
The song I'm going to play is called Don't Clearcut the Tahoe. Tahoe is a forest up by Nevada City area. Goes up to Truckee. And the Tahoe the Tahoe plan embraces a lot of clearcut. And the people in the Bay Area, they have a pull. And it's important for each person to state their opinion. Clearcut the Tahoe. Don't clearcut the Tahoe. People stand up and say no. Don't clearcut the Tahoe. No, don't clearcut Tahoe. Across her crest, the greenwoods stand, clear waters flowing through the land. In this strength together we must band to stay the greedy hand of man. Don't clearcut the Tahoe. Don't clearcut the Tahoe. Against this we must strike a blow. Don't clearcut the Tahoe. No, don't clearcut Tahoe. It's an old lie. We've been sold. That's why they hide the clear cuts along the roads. Even this they soon plan to forego. How brazen proud in hearts grown cold. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. It's rape of the mother, you know. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. No, don't clear cut the Tahoe. When the trees are gone, wildlife disappears. Expect no mercy when the monster sneers. If you think they care about flowers, bears and deer, go stand in a clear cut until your thinking clears. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. People stand up and say no. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. No, don't clear cut the Tahoe. To those who believe in cut, burn and spray, there is something we must say. The ecosystem that is destroyed truly belongs to each girl and boy. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. Against this we must strike a blow. Don't clear cut the Tahoe. No, don't clear cut Tahoe.
I have an agenda, yes indeed. Here's my agenda, here's my creed. It's something historically demanding. It's simply love and understanding. Put away thoughts of pride and pelf and simply love the earth for itself. Live life the way that nature planned it, although we may never understand it. Indeed, how could we? Ecological science is short on answers and long on compliance. Ecological webs aren't made to be broken. Indeed, the voice in the forest has spoken. We must learn to practice a little humility and treat nature's creatures with civility. Saving the species, the rivers and the seas, means seeing the forest and the trees. Confining or tinkering to what's just human, we can sit around listening to Randy Newman, composing our ecological ditties while we live and die in our concrete cities. Human activities we must thus zone and leave the rest of the earth alone, so its problems it'll be able to solve while it does what nature intended, evolve. People created a terrible mess when they started mucking up the wilderness. Now there's no place for the panda anywhere, and planes have crowded the condor from the air, till it now survives. Here's the terrible news in emergency wards that we call zoos. Imagine the shoe on the other foot, but it already is, or my argument's moot. For cities are zoos where people live, and jobs are cages to which we give much of our life as we toil away for that non-existent happy day when bars are bent and we make our break to who knows where for freedom's sake. But it's all an illusion. We can't get free of the bars in our minds, it's plain to see. And if we could, where would we go in a world this crowded, I'd like to know? The last wild earth we would surely wreck as we tried to survive with our usual dreck. I know I'm right, if you doubt my word. Just see that movie with Harrison Ford. So it's best that we stay in our human zoos and look at nature on the 6 o'clock news. At least that way we will go less wrong than poking our nose in where it don't belong.
Mitch, is that a kachina in your loincloth, or are you happy to be here? Yeah, I'm going to change my set around a little bit. Speaking of Mitch gave me a call when he was ready to set out on his ancient forest rescue expedition. He gave me a call wanting to know if there's any way I could rendezvous with him somewhere along the east coast there. And I said, oh, hell, let me think about it. Yeah, sure. And after we hung up, I got thinking about it. Couldn't go to sleep that night until I wrote this song. Just a visual of a big old Douglas fir on a flatbed, cruising through downtown Manhattan Island. Just excited the hell out of me. Yeah, I think he is happy to be here. Song's called Subsidized Stumps. Let me tell you all a tale about a tree that came to town. There was no act of nature that cut it to the ground. It was not killed by drought or lightning or flood of driving rain. It was a throwaway mentality that flushed it down the drain. I said, don't cut down that tree. It's part of a higher plan. Diversity just ain't your cup of tea. I said, don't cut down that tree. Sit back and let it be. 'Cause if you don't, you have to deal with me. Way out where it's pristine, look these man-made machines. They cut 1,000-year-old giants to their knees. With their jaws made of steel, they don't reason, they don't feel.
but they're driven by the corporation greed. They sure have got some nerve cutting down the last reserve with help from the Forest Service. I know that sounds absurd. We subsidize the slaughter with aid from Uncle Sam. Away bon voyage to all those logs, they're headed for Japan. Sayonara, man. I said don't cut down that tree. It's part of the higher plan. Diversity just ain't your cup of tea. I said don't cut down that tree. Sit back and let it be. 'Cause if you don't, you have to deal with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are many mysteries in amongst these ancient trees, from the nitrogen-rich soil to the tallest canopy. They purify the water, they help to clear the air, provide the food and shelter for species yet declared. The American bald eagle sits atop the highest bough. Its neighborhood of earth and wood is shared by spotted owl. There's flicker, hawk, falcon, salamander, flying squirrel. Yeah, but if we waste this wonderland, they too will leave this world. Come on, help me out, sing it. I said don't cut down that tree. It's part of a higher plan. Diversity just ain't your cup of tea. I said don't cut down that tree. Sit back and let it be. 'Cause if you don't, you have to deal with me. Yeah, but hit your chin. Yeah. Watch out, those cameras look loaded. Well, I tell you what's the fuss. Ancient trees ain't like us. Oh, they put back more than they take away. As we strive to have more stuff, we take more than enough. We use what we want, then throw the rest away. These trees might end up as junk mail, filling up the old waste pail. They could end up as a diaper on my baby's derriere. They could end up as some plywood or landscape for your lawn. Yeah, but if we keep on cutting them, they're sure to end up gone, forever gone. I said don't cut down that tree. It's part of a higher plan. Diversity just ain't your cup of tea. Obviously, I said don't cut down that tree. Sit back and let it be. 'Cause if you don't, you have to deal with me. Yeah, you have to deal with me. You're gonna have to live with yourself too. You have to deal with your children and your children's children. Short-term profit don't make for no strong economy. You ain't kidding me. Job security, my ass. Right, thank you. All right, Gene said I got time for 10 more songs. Oh, 10 minutes. Got me 10 fingers. I don't know what to say.
It's the Bay Area Earth First that organized the demonstrations against Burger King, against the World Bank, and that will continue to coordinate that. Bay Area Earth First needs support.
It was written in a redwood grove up in Honeydew. Clear-cutting chainsaws killing the trees, disrupting everything that lives in peace. Our animal friends are on the run, but there's nowhere to go when the job is done. How can we stand by while this all takes place? We've got to stop this inhuman race. No compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise in defense of the Mother Earth. mining mountains by the ton, digging up the uranium. Bald eagle looking for a place to land, but it's all gone for a nuclear plant. Must we poison the water, earth, and air just to cook a piece of toast or blow dry a hair? No compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise in defense of the mother earth first. Don't we know there's gonna come a time when the tables will be turned? And what will we say to answer for these crimes? Yeah. Ooh. And for our lessons never learned. All native peoples of the earth, the land is yours by right of birth. But the corporations can't stand to see the way that we were meant to be. Our sisters and brothers are dying every day while we drink our coffee and look the other way. No compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise in defense of the mother earth, earth first. So how do we make up for our mistakes? Well, the answer is whatever it takes. Now the pen is mightier than the sword, but a monkey wrench can do a whole lot more. The revolution is just around the bend. Will Mother Earth be your foe or your friend? No compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise, no compromise in defense of the Mother Earth. Earth first, earth first, earth first, earth first, and no compromise in defense of the Mother Earth. Earth first! Thank you.
How did this chicken get here on the table, and for that matter, how did the table get here, and how did the house get around it?
That warrior spirit is too valuable to waste on wars. Let it be placed in a different context. For instance, acting to save our Mother Earth. Then the fire-fangled feathers really dangle, the bow burn gold, the spear shine in the sun.
I'm going to finish with a song dedicated to everyone here, to every Earth warrior. Please come to see us at La Peña on Wednesday. We'd like to see you. I came alive in the Cascade Mountains. They taught me how to sing my song. I know the sound of the rippling forest. I know the feel of live ground. And when they come to cut the forest, they cut my heart, they cut my flesh. I don't know how to hold my sorrow. I hold the memory. I know the forest in the dawn. I know the silver river song. Though they cut the forest down, and I may have to walk alone, still walk the mountains and the cities, teaching the people to kill her. I know the forest in the dawn, I know the silver river song. Though they cut the forest down, I may have to walk alone. Still the earth will be my power, for I know where I belong. I am a warrior of the earth, I have the mountains in my heart. I am a warrior of the earth, I have the mountains in my heart. I am a warrior of the earth, I have the mountains in my heart. I am a warrior of the earth, I have the mountains in my heart. I have the mountains in my heart. I have the mountains in my heart.
You know, a couple springs ago, I was driving down the road toward West Yellowstone, and there was this big old buffalo by the side of the road, and it was outside the park, and I was kind of wishing that the buffalo would get up and run back into the park, because you see, the critters don't know how to read maps. They don't know where the boundaries are, and if they step out of boundaries nowadays, they're blown away. So I got to thinking about the history of the buffalo, and came up with this song. There was a legend when the great herds were disappearing from the plains back in the 1870s and 80s. A lot of the Native Americans couldn't believe that all these millions and millions of animals were actually being killed. And so there was a legend going around amongst some of the tribes that the herds were ascending into the heavens, and when they looked at the face of the moon on the night when the moon was full and the shadows were playing across the moonscape, that was actually the herds thundering across the moon. It's a nice idea. This is the sacred buffalo.
He was born in Montana in 1832. He was a living vision of the sacred chosen few. A strong young boy to lead the buffalo, like a ghost rode out on plain, hide as wide as driven snow. He was the pride of the Buffalo Nation. He was spirit of the earth's very soul, good medicine for all creation. He was the last of the sacred buffalo. Part animal, part God, all seeing and all wise. He knew the web of life, how all things were tied. He gave to the wolf, and he gave to the lame man, gave back to the earth and prospered over the land. He was the pride of the Buffalo Nation. He was spirit of the earth's very soul, good medicine for all creation. He was the last of the sacred buffalo. And then the white man came, a swirling blood-red tide. They cut his nation down and swept them to the side. Death was their god, they never got their fill. One by one they hunted down the last herds to kill. The pride of the Buffalo Nation. He was the spirit of the earth's very soul, good medicine for all creation. He was the last of the sacred buffalo. It was a fine summer day, 1888. They found his little band hidden all away. Word spread like wildfire, they ran to get their guns for the buffalo's last stand, grazing in the sun. He'd known what was coming, he'd seen it in the stars. He felt the bullets strike, and he saw them from afar. Such a rich red blood on that snow white hide, that noble mighty buffalo lay down and died. He was a pride of the Buffalo Nation. He was the spirit of the earth's very soul, hidden medicine for all creation. He was the last of the sacred buffalo. He was the last of the secret buffalo. Now there are those who wonder where the mighty herds have gone. They look up to the heavens and the spirits living on, for the moon's face is darkening and the shadows come and go. It's a racing of them herds and that sacred buffalo. The pride of the Buffalo Nation. He was the spirit of the earth's very soul, his medicine for all creation. He was the last of the sacred buffalo, the last of the sacred buffalo, the last of the sacred buffalo. Thank you.
This song is about a no-compromise kind of guy. Like it's been said many times this week, the Native Americans are the original environmentalists, and Milton Born with a Tooth is certainly one of them. I'd like to dedicate this to Milton Born with a Tooth and all the other warriors out there, no matter who they are, who will take a bulldozer to a dam or wherever it needs to be taken to. And for years I was accused of being against bulldozers, but Milton Born with a Tooth told me that there are good uses for bulldozers.
There's a drop of water on the wall, and the drop's about to fall, and it falls into a trickle, and the trickle's flowing down, down, down to the ground, and the moss begins to grow. Watch, 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 watch the water flow, and watch the currents and become a stream, busting through the seams, cracking through the concrete, bending down the steel in a raging that is real, a tearing torrent you can feel the thunder growing, thunder underground in my heart, the chains falling apart, the wildness in my soul, and for once in life, I know I'm not alone, 'cause the mountains make our bones, with the oceans in our blood,
our feet planted firmly in the mud. We are alive, the burning embers in our eyes, the tingling touch upon our skin. And in the heat of passion we begin to understand that we are of this land, that we are part of Earth, and when it's threatened, we will fight for all we're worth. We watch the dam come crashing down, water rushing to the sea. Now the river, now the river, now the river, now it's
thinking, wondering what to do. The cold night hours are dragging by, it's 20 after 2. The words we spoke a while ago hang heavy in the air. And old promises like autumn leaves, they scattered everywhere. 'Cause if all the broken promises were strung out end to end, they'd wind a chain of sorrow round the world and back again. Memory of the good things helped me hang on through the years. But after a while, the good things just can't outweigh the tears. All the times you promised me you'd never lie again. Well, we both know how the story goes and how this song will end. Soon the night will roll back, bringing on another day. We're left to face each other with nothing else to say. Promises of long ago are all we have to share. Old promises like autumn leaves, they scattered everywhere. 'Cause if all the broken promises were strung out in the end, they'd wind a chain of sorrow round the world and back again. Yes, if all the broken promises were strung out in the end, they'd wind a chain of sorrow round the world and back again.
Earth First, how did it start and why?
It started, our mental movement got together on a camping trip to the Pinacate Desert in Mexico. We had been talking about how the environmental movement had been compromised and co-opted, how we were compromising more but getting less, and we decided that there was need for a group that would articulate a pure wilderness position, that would ask fundamental questions about the relationship of human beings to nature, and that would provide a radical critique of industrial society, and would take the kind of strong action to follow through on that type of philosophy.
How do you see Earth First is different than other environmental organizations? Why is it necessary as opposed to a Greenpeace or another group?
I think all other environmental groups are basically the loyal opposition to industrial society. We are outside of industrial society. We are questioning the very basis of industrial society. We don't attempt to reform it. We want to overthrow Western civilization.
What do you think about that statement?
I have to say he's probably right.
kid sure plays a mean pinball, but he can't beat me now. I've always been the champ. I know every trick. The freak's gonna beat my hand. How you think he does it? What makes him so good?
You wrote the book Eco Defense, Guide to Monkey Wrenching, and some people have criticized Earth First as being, they've gone as far as to say you're terrorists. What would be your response to that?
Well, if I was a rich Republican pulling down $100,000 a year as executive director of the Sierra Club or the National Wildlife Federation, I'd call Earth First terrorists too. I'm surprised they haven't claimed we get our money from Muammar Gaddafi. The simple fact of the matter is that there is terrorism in the national forest, out in the wilderness. But the terrorists are the National Forest Service, the U.S. Park Service, and their corporate masters. All we're doing is trying to become part of the wilderness and acting in our own self-defense. That's not terrorism. That's a common right of every good American.
This is the Stephen Foster song. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many fears, while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that forever will linger in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. You know, that's a good damn song, boy. And you can see why I had to rip that sucker off. Anyway, now when you hear that line from Stephen Foster's song, you'll recognize it, and you can sing on it. It'll be a lot of fun. It always worked for Pete Seeger. We'll play the guitar all night long when the good old days come back, when the Wabash Cannonball comes steaming down this rusty track. We'll sing along with the bluebird song on the cool, clean river shore. And there'll be a chicken in every pot when the hard times come no more. Oh, hard times come again no more. All I see is poverty when I look for a brighter day. The good Lord knows where the good times go, but the good times sure go away. I ought to make a damn good wealthy man. I ain't doing good at poor. But there'll be a chicken in every pot when the hard times come no more. Oh, hard times come again no more. I'm tired of singing sad songs. I want to dance an old-time jig. Well, I recall when the bills were small and a Cadillac was big. A government bond was good as gold. A handshake meant for show. We used to have a chicken in every pot. Oh, hard times come no more. Oh, hard times come again no more. I hope I'm here to stand and cheer when nobody has the blues. You watch TV and all you see is nothing but good news. I want to see the old SP chasing Amtrak out the door. I want to see a chicken in every pot and the hard times come no more. Oh, hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Well, we're involved in a number of different campaigns at this point. We try to look at issues in a way that'll bring a little light to the larger question, some of the things that Dave was just talking about. But I'd say probably number one in our priority is preservation of the world's wild areas, the undeveloped areas, the areas where natural processes still go on fairly much uninterrupted. And these places are scattered all over the globe, and therefore our actions are pretty dispersed too. We're certainly not big enough to take all of them, but what we do try to do is to really confront these institutions and these governments and these corporations that are constantly, diminishing the natural world, reducing it to small park-sized parcels, and through that we're trying to bring about some enlightenment as how much, as human beings we really need that world, that we cannot live without that world, that if we lose that, we lose ourselves. And so some of the actions we've taken recently have been in defense of forests in the Pacific Northwest, Northern California redwoods, the Doug firs in Oregon, trying to save spotted owl habitat in Washington State. And we do this by a number of ways, but most of what we do is called direct action. We confront, we intervene, we interfere, we try to stop. It goes beyond symbolic action. These are defensive actions, and they're deliberate actions, through taking very positive steps in our own lives to try to confront these things, we're trying to get other people to confront the whole worldview that is really causing this, and we realize that it's that worldview that ultimately we're going to have to deal with, and not just all these individual issues.
I always wanted to write a historical ballad, so I did. What better thing could I write about than something I know about, Anyway, I was always interested in outlaws, up until Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. Anyway, these outlaws were California outlaws, and it was really kind of interesting because after that, when they finally caught up with him and killed him, then they cut off Joaquin Murrieta's head and three-fingered Jack's hand, and he took him around and showed him, pickled him in formaldehyde and showed him at carnivals and fairs. And that was all good and well, until they finally figured out there was a total of 9 heads and hands that were making the round. Who in the hell were those other 8? Or if any of them. As a child I heard tales about Three-Fingered Jack. He rode out with Joaquin and they never rode back. And back home we heard stories about the treasures and glories and the wild times the two of them seen. Jack and the man called Joaquin. Well, the mighty Sierras are high and they're cold, and the Mexicans work and the gringos got gold. And how can you blame a man trying to claim something better than peppers and beans? The outlaws Jack and Joaquin. Well, a high-stepping horse and a long-barreled gun make a man proud, and a proud man won't run. And a man you should fear is a man you can't scare. And that crippled hand reached for a dream he shared with a man called Joaquin. Well, they hide through the day and they ride through the night, and sometimes they'll run, but sometimes they'll fight. And how can you find them when you're always behind them? Like phantoms, they're felt but not seen. The outlaws Jack and Joaquin. Well, the mighty Sierras are quiet today, but old Mexican women light candles and pray that the head and the hand that was shown through the land was somebody they'd never seen. And not those of Jack and Joaquin. And stories are told every now and again about a ranch in Sonora that was run by two men, and they lived there like lords, never crossing the border, and living like old Spanish kings. And they claim it was Jack and Joaquin.
Good night, folks. I want to thank you all very, very much for your generosity and your spirit. Earth first, earth first, earth first, earth first, earth first.
Take all your machinery, take your bulldozers away.
Long is the legend of the life of John Muir. Many are the dangers he braved. Without his leadership, you can be sure Yosemite would never been saved. A century later, the battle remains. The momentum we're facing is huge. But so is the movement inspired by his name. May his courage and his work live in you. Your power to you. May the strength of a redwood be yours. Your power to you. With the grip of a glacier endure. Your power to you. John Muir would have been proud. He traveled alone on 1,000-mile hikes when the weather was warm or would freeze. He loved the Sierra when it filled up with storm, and he was tied atop a swaying tree. He worshipped the beauty of all he could see, even when he was robbed of his sight. When his vision returned, he would go on to be the protector of the range of light. Your power to you. May you look with a light from within. Your power to you. May the wilderness become your friend. Your power to you. John Muir would have been proud. Scientists and teachers would arrive at the points that his articles and lectures would claim. Even politicians would eventually join with what photographers and artists would frame. When we think of John Muir, it's so easy to see the difference one person can make. The same rivers flowing through you and me. It's living in the steps that we take. Your power to you. As you fight to keep that river alive. Your power to you. As you help another species survive. Your power to you. On the oceans and mountains and trails. Your power to you. In the classrooms and courtrooms and jails. Your power to the strength